Hello and welcome to another episode of the Flashback Cartoon Hour. I'm your loving bald host with the most from coast to coast, Nick. Excuse me, who are you? Lascola. And joining me today is the lovely Joey V. Say hi, Joey.
Hello.
What up, buddy? And so by the time this airs, it should be on Halloween. We are now in the spooky season.
That's right.
And in case you couldn't tell, I wore my little spooky shirt today. But I had given Joey the task of watching a movie recently and doing a watch along to it called Perfect Blue, which came out in 1997. I have been for a while, I've been trying to find what the very first animated horror movie was. Now, not to confuse people, I know things have had like scary elements in them, but I wanted to know what a movie was that was meant to be from start to finish a horror movie that was animated. Perfect Blue was one that kept popping up every time I was trying to go back and see it. Again, like most of the things that came out would have scary elements, but it wasn't meant to be strictly a horror movie. This movie, on the other hand, is a psychological thriller slash horror that just fuck.
Kicked ass.
It has so many because it's slasher too. So there's so many fucking things going on at once. But that being said, I'm gonna let Joey take over from here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
All right. Yeah. So, like you said, we got, had the honor of, reviewing or going through Perfect Blue. Never heard of this movie before in my life. I know it was a big hit when it came out, but, and I know it's still a big hit, right? But for a lot of you that maybe have never heard of this movie before, you definitely got to check it out. It's one of those movies that just like messes with your mind, right? Like it makes you question everything throughout the movie. And then the director writes it, or he writes it in a way that I think it's meant to be like that. It's meant to make you like not know like the true ending of the story or what's really happened in the story and what's made up, right? Like it's a perfect like balance between like reality and fucking and like basically what's going on in your mind. So basically, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say he makes this movie so that everything you think in like 5 minutes from that, you're gonna second guess everything that you just like every theory that you had, and he does it in such a fucking fantastic way. This was quite a happy little accident because, like I said, I found out that this was one of the earliest horror animated movies. And so Joey went and he watched this, and then I edited a good chunk of that movie, but in turn ended up watching and getting like super sucked into the story. And it's just what a great movie to do for the spooky season. I mean, seriously, guys.
Absolutely.
But you can keep going.
So basically, like, why this movie was so great for spooky season, right? It's because it ties in all of those horror films, like your thrasher, slasher type killing films, your psychological thrillers. It ties in everything into one film. So basically, this movie is about pop idol named Mima, who decides to change careers, and she wants to pursue a career in acting now. And from making this choice, it goes downhill fast for her. And the great thing about this film is the realism. It's so realistic,
so grounded.
It touches on things that like, you hear about like certain things that like people. It's something that could happen to you in like real life. It's something that happens to like actors like that, like behind the scenes that nobody sees, and the trauma that it could cause people, and basically what it could like the mental like disabilities and like the what's the word I'm looking for?
Psychosis.
I mean, well, this movie basically draws our main character into a state of psychosis where she is experiencing hallucinations, and she's out of touch with reality. She questions her own reality. She doesn't know what's real, right? She's all over the place. And it's from the trauma that she not only experiences, but also that she's kind of presented, and her close friends, or her should say her close friend, manipulates her throughout the movie, which also I should touch on. See, I feel like I'm going to jump all over the place with this. Her close friend, see, this movie touches on a lot of like mental disabilities, right? Like it goes through psychosis, it goes through multiple personality disorder, and it kind of like intertwines the two, with like the main character experiencing severe psychosis and the side character who is also kind of a main character, but not really, who experiences like personality disorder. So basically, this film is, like I was saying, is about Mima, the pop star, who transitions into a acting career, but kind of does things that she doesn't really want to do, but does them because like it's gonna
Further her career.
further her acting career, right?
She's going to be an actress, and it really all goes downhill from there, because it's really, you're trying to trace it back to whose faults can this all go down to. And yes, it's Mima's fault, because at the end of the day, she's saying yes to all this shit. But there's the two managers.
Hold on. But is it really Mima's fault, right? Because like, she's not the one.
Manager that forces her to go into doing these inappropriate type of scenes that cause everything to start kicking in.
I agree, but like, so I see what you're saying, where like, yes, everyone at the end of the day has a choice, right? Ultimately, it is your choice. But what happens from those choices? If Mima says no, what happens? She just left her pop group, and now her acting career is going to fail because she's not committing to what the director and what the manager wants, right? The realism in the film, right? That's something that like happens behind the scenes that a lot of people like we end up hearing about, but yeah, but you don't think about it when people are going through it. And then, you know, actors come out saying like this happened and this happened, and there's all those cases
anyone
out
who
there.
has any interaction with Diddy.
Exactly. This is loosely, like, this kind of is loosely based on Diddy, actually. Like, everything with Diddy, this is the lead up to Diddy.
But yeah, so to get back into the story, it was so Mima now has left being a pop star, which was a big controversial thing.
Yeah, so that's the first big the big kind of like ties into the plot, right? Is her leaving her pop group Chan. Like that's the first tie into the plot, is her leaving her singing career to pursue her acting career. And it's funny, like the opening scene, right? It's basically her getting ready to like go out for her final concert, and she gets out there, right? Curtains close, title screen, Perfect Blue, right? Movie starts. And it's funny because a very like prominent character throughout the movie is in the stands, and this is her stalker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this? Mr. Mania?
Character.
Yeah. Mr. Mania, Mr. See, like, they don't really like say his name.
They do. It's Me Mania or something.
Me Mania? I got Mr. Me Mania. Yeah, and let me tell you, like, this is like one of those classic, like, they try and throw you off, like, all right, dude, like, this is the ultimate, like, this is the guy that's going to cause all the problems.
Yeah, because he's got a weird look to him. He's
Leatherface. He looks like Leatherface, dude. Like, you'll watch the movie, they make him the weirdest looking motherfucker. They make him what you would think a stalker looks like, right? Mm-hmm. Like, this is your S tier stalker. Like, he's right up here.
The scene is that he's sitting on the ground and he's already being weird because he's like looking, he's got his hand out like this and he's looking at her.
Yeah, and she's dancing in his palm, basically. Yeah. So yeah, it kind of opens up with introducing him there. And then
real quick, before we skip over it, don't forget that. So as they're saying, like, this is Mima's last show, you start seeing like cans and stuff getting thrown at the stage. And there's a couple of hoodlums in the back. I'm just going to call them hoodlums. that are kind of causing a ruckus and everything. And the creep that's been, staring at Mima through the hands gets up and goes back there. And, it cuts back to Mima, and she's saying her, like well-hearted goodbye. And then all of a sudden there's a fight that just breaks out in the back, and the stalker guy gets his fucking shit kicked in, because he gets rocked.
He gets rocked by a group of punks that apparently have been showing up to the shows, a couple Cham shows, and like ruining them. I don't know why. Like, I don't really know the backstory to that. They don't really explain that.
Yeah, was it more than one?
It was. They do mention that these guys were at like the last show or something like that.
Okay.
Like the three guys, like you said, like three side characters. One of them is the voice of the legendary, what's his name,
Steve
from Toonami?
Bloom. Yeah. Tom from Toonami. Spike
Tom from Toonami.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yes. So they're like little side characters. You don't really see much of them, but like they talk about what's going on with Mima throughout the movie every now and then.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah, they bring it up or something like that, that like these kids have been at the show and they caused problems before. But then...
Good eye, dude. I missed that both times.
I think we should talk about probably the most prominent kind of thing to the plot is she discovers this website called Mima's Room.
Right.
And this is kind of what kind of starts tying her into like getting her out of touch with reality. So
yeah,
she's introduced to Mima's Room from her manager, Rumi.
One of two managers.
One of two managers. Right. She gets a letter, actually, right? She gets a letter and it's like, oh, like I love Mima's Room or whatever. And she's like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, well, so you pointed out too. There was that guy that yelled at her as she was getting into the limo.
Yeah, I love Mima's Room. He's like, I watch Mima's Room. Yeah. And she's like, what? Like, she kind of like, what's that? Like, what is Mima's Room? So basically, Mima's Room is, it's basically like, think of it like a fan page, right? Like those fandoms or whatever that people make for like, I don't know, famous people.
Yeah, whatever have you.
But the thing with this one is it's very personal. Like it's basically, it's like a diary. It's basically like, it's talking about her day to day. From the time that she gets up to the time she goes to bed. It talks about the type of milk she's buying, the food she's like eating. It's talking about things that only she would know. So she's like, I'm not writing this. Like, who is this? Like, how does this person know so much about my life? So that's already getting her like all fucking wired, right? Like that's already getting her on edge. So now she's like, oh, I have a stalker. Like somebody is watching me because like, there's no way nobody would, like anyone would know this other than myself. So that's kind of like the biggest, like, that's like kind of like the, I don't know, like the soup to nuts type shit. Like that's the meat in the bowl basically of this movie.
Come up with 3 more analogies.
That's
the cog in the wheel, guys.
That's the fucking grease to this shit, dude. Like, that's what gets the wheel fucking turning. That's what gets Mima's mind racing. But yeah, so she discovers Mima's Room, and it's weird because her manager kind of like dismisses it, right? She's kind of like, oh, dude, like, don't even worry about it. Like, these are just fans. Like, they love you. Like, people love you. Like, and she's kind of like overbearing with that. She's like, people fucking love you. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
don't ever forget.
It's like, dude, my best friend, like, all right, like one of my homies, like Nick, is like, hey man, like I just discovered this weird website, people talking about my day to day, and Nick is just like, man, no, don't worry about it. Like, it ain't nothing. Like, dude, I'm gonna be like,
me.
Spoiler. Spoiler.
You guys tune into Joey's Room.
Spoiler. But yeah, so then from there, it kind of then rolls into her acting career. Kind of gets her into like her first scene and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Doing that line, trying to remember the one line.
Who am I?
Yeah. Excuse me. Who are you? Excuse me.
Yeah. Which we were kind of talking about, like that kind of also plays into like how the movie is supposed to be written. It's kind of like Mima like being so dissociated like from reality
Like, who are
that
you?
she kind of loses touch. Like she's like, am I the real Mima? Like, you know, so they're like, who are you? Who are you? And that's another thing I love about this movie is like the movie that they're filming, right, gives so many little hints to what's actually going on in the movie. It's almost like the movie that they're writing is like telling the story of this actual movie, which I thought was like a cool little touch that the writer did.
Well, you find out from so Rumi and the other manager, which I'm gonna butcher his name. It's Todoroki, something like that.
Mr. Segoya or Shibuya? Mr. Shibuya?
No, he's the director. So the other manager, they're sitting down and
Yeah.
he's talking about how Mima needs to like step it up and do basically a scene that she's not going to be comfortable with. And that's going to get her recognized and noticed because she's only been doing little one-off parts since then. So she gets this new role to the movie, and when it comes out what's in the movie, what she has to film, that's going to cause a bunch of shit in a little bit. And I'll let Joey jump back into it.
Yeah, so this is like a big like pivot point for the movie is like kind of this scene. So it's a scene, right? So Mima, so Rumi, it's weird, right? Rumi is most upset about this scene. I mean, obviously Mima is upset about like doing this, but she agrees to do it because like we were talking about, like if I turn this down, my acting career is over and I just left the singing career. Like I have nothing. So she feels obligated to do this scene. Like she's like, all right, this is what's going to put me on the top. Fuck it. Like it's not real. I'll just do it. Rumi, her manager, the same Rumi that introduces her to Mima's room and all of that, Rumi is visibly upset by this. Like she is like, hey,
hates the idea. She's against it 100%.
She's like, hell no, like we're not doing this, Mima. Like,
we're gonna
this will ruin your image. Yeah, like we're changing this. And Mima's like, no, Rumi, like it's fine. I could do this one scene.
I
like,
need to prove
it's not real. Yeah, like it's not real. Like let's just do it. Like if this is what the director wants, like I want to please everyone. Like let's just get it done and over with. The scene is very, very graphic, very vivid. And during the scene, Rumi can't handle it. Like she basically starts breaking down, crying, like she leaves. Like she's like, nope, can't do this, absolutely won't do this. She gets out of there. Where Rumi now is alone, like going through the scene, and now she starts to lose it. Like she starts to like blank out and like take her mind elsewhere to get through this scene. And then this is the first time that, like, after the scene happens, Rumi's on her way, or not Rumi, Mima is on her way home. And she sees, like, so she's like she's on the train or whatever. And she looks in the mirror and she sees herself, but it's herself as the pop idol. Like she's dressed up as the pop idol and all that. And she's like, oh, like I'm the real Mima or whatever. And Mima's like, whoa, like what's going on? And this is where like you start to realize like Mima is now having like a psychotic break. Like that kind of broke her. Like that trauma that she just went through.
That scene happened right before they filmed the movie because the reflection looks at her and says, I won't do it. And then she's like, what the fuck was that? And I think that's supposed to be like, it's kind of trickling in. That's supposed to be all the negative, like, oh, she's doing schmutty shit now. Like, I think that's kicking into her. And then when she goes and does that scene, that's where it's like, it officially breaks down.
Or whatever.
What happens too is we forgot that Mima, when she agrees to do the movie, but before she films the scene, Mima gets a note faxed to her house. And I found out that the note says traitor on it over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over again, it says traitor, 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 all in Japanese. But I did my research to find it. I just Googled it. And then she gets a phone call and you just hear heavy breathing. And then that hangs up. And then she gets another phone call. And I believe it's Rumi. that calls it. And then we do this. Then it's like she does the scene. And then when they're doing the scene, they do one take. She's kind of okay. They do the take again. And that's where like she's kind of like her head's upside down. She's looking up at the lights. Everything's getting disassociated. It's like a very realistic scene. Everyone's grabbing, touching her and grabbing at her.
And then so basically after the scene, this is where it like kind of like unfolds. Well, we're gonna be doing this a lot. We're gonna pull it back. So I didn't catch this the first time watching it. Apparently, so the first murder that occurs is actually the punk that started the commotion at her final concert.
That was throwing the cans.
That was throwing the cans. And you see this when Mima's like going up on the elevator before this meeting to discuss basically the scene and all of that and go through that. She's going up on the elevator and there's a news printing like of basically like his obituary. And it's the punk that like basically like fucking did all that shit. And you're like, oh, what the hell?
Like he's 40, but when I was reading, the only thing that I couldn't make out
like a 20-year-old kid.
18 said like it said his name and then it said 18. That's the only thing that wasn't Japanese that I could understand.
So that was the first murder, like we said. Then it goes into the rape scene.
And that's off screen. You don't see it.
Yeah. That's why I missed it the first time I watched it. I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And then we rewatched it and I was like, oh shit. So yeah, there's a lot of that throughout this movie. Like I said, there's a lot of like little things you're not going to catch the first time. Like you could probably watch this movie 100 times and pick up something new every time.
Still pick up something new.
Yeah, it's just one of those movies. But yeah. So we go through the rape scene, and this is where, or right before the rape scene is where Mima starts kind of hallucinating. She starts going through her psychosis, right? Because like she knows deep down she doesn't want to do this scene, but she feels obligated to progress her career, her acting career. And then kind of like, this is like not like a major thing, but after the scene, so Mima's pop group, right? Cham. So as soon as she leaves the group, right? They make it into the top 100, like 100. Billboard top 100. Yeah. Just them two. And they've never done that before. So it's kind of like a fucking like, yeah, so it's kind of like another, like, oh, shit, like, damn, dude, like, should have been there for that. So it's kind of another, like, kind of slap in Mima's face, right? Like, that wouldn't make anyone feel good. But she's happy for her, like, you know, past co-singers, whatever you want to call them, band.
Yeah. Her, I guess bandmates.
So, but the reason I brought that up is because it's kind of like, that's kind of like tying into now Mima's like regret of leaving being a pop star, right? Like she was like, man, I was really doing well. Like, was this the right decision? She's questioning what she's doing now. And that just kind of like, it was like, you know, pouring fuel on the fire, right? Like it's another analogy for you, babe. So this is where me and Nick were kind of like getting into like a little debate and we kind of want to like present this to you guys and let us know what you think after watching the film.
Please.
So basically the manager, right? Or not Rumi, the other co-manager. So like he said, Rumi runs off crying. You don't see her. After the scene, the co-manager, basically he's going to bring Mima home, right? And he's like, hey, like, you want to go get some ice cream? Like, da-da-da. Like, he was about to apologize, but he fucking doesn't, like a prick. Like, I don't know why he didn't, like, dude, just fucking apologize because you fucked up. And Mima's like, oh, dude, I'm just so tired. I want to go home. So she goes home, right? And she loses it. And this is where we have the debate, right? Because something that's like kind of like very prevalent throughout the movie is the room, the setup of Mima's room, not the website, her actual room. And I think it's kind of like a hint to like Nick, you were kind of like saying it's kind of a hint to like what character you're watching. right?
Yes.
Because like kind of like I
In
don't know if we
my
went.
theory, this
Yeah,
is my theory
this is
personally.
mixed. Yes,
So as we were saying, there's somebody who's posing as Mima, and we're wondering if it's the other person that gets in the car that's thinking she's Mima.
yeah,
So
basically.
we're looking at her and she looks like Mima, but maybe it's not Mima
Yeah, so we're
in the
questioning
car
like if
with the
it's the
man.
real Mima. Well,
Yeah.
well, see, this is where like I turn like I mean, yes, yeah, because if we're gonna question like who's in the room, like yeah. So
Question who's in the car.
questioning who's in the car, but then ultimately who's in the room, right? Because that's what it
Mhm.
leads to.
Right,
Like
right.
so with that, without any spoilers,
It's
like we
hard.
said,
It's so
it-
fucking hard because I'm
but wait,
school.
it's crazy because like we could be wrong, and that's why we want like your opinion.
That's the best part.
That's the best part of this film. Like
the
we
best
don't
part.
actually know. Like the way he writes this film, it makes you question everything. It kind of like it's one of those films where it's kind of like, dude, like it opens it up to like your own interpretation. Like it's like how you saw it is how it is. Like, you know? And I don't know if the director says otherwise. You know, I don't know if he's ever come out and said like, hey, like this is what actually happened. This is like how I wrote it. Like, I don't think that's happened. I think the way he wrote it is like he wanted it to be like, hey, how you see it is what it is. Like, you know, and that's like part of the beauty of this film, but we'll get into that.
So we're in
We're in the
Mima's
car.
room.
We're going to Mima's room
Going
after
to
the
Mima's room.
scene.
Yes.
So what happens in this scene, Mima gets back to her room, right? And she freaks out, right? She freaks out.
Knocking everything off the walls, off the
breaks
counter.
her fish tank. She freaks out. And Nick, correct me if I'm wrong.
Tell him why she freaks out, though. What's the final thing that makes her snap? There's a straw that breaks the camel's back. She looks at something that isn't living anymore.
I thought it was the fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
She sees the dead fish, and that's the final straw. She sees the dead fish in her fish tank, and like that, and she loved those fish. So that is like the final straw. She starts losing after that. She starts throwing everything off the wall, smashing everything, breaking things, breaking down, bawling her eyes up.
Mm-hmm. And so this is where I might be mixing up scenes, right? But I'm pretty sure in this scene, after she has the freak out, is this the one where she looks in the mirror and herself, like, but as the pop star form, like this is her hallucination, is basically telling her that like you're a slut, like you're shameless, like
It
all
is,
this.
but I think it's her computer. She looks at her computer.
Her computer screen, yes. So that just kind of like that's what's going through her head, right? But now like she's hallucinating and seeing it. So this is why she's freaking out. Like she's just upset with kind of committing to that scene and kind of like, you know, going that was heavy trauma for her. And this just kind of like creates, like puts her through a spiral. Like she gets out of control from here on out through the movie. Like she really like, this is the pivoting point for her really losing touch with reality. Like being introduced to Mima's room was like a scare, right? Like that would scare anyone. That would be like oh shit, like somebody is watching me. Somebody knows what's going on. But it's not going to make you like absolutely lose it. This trauma, experiencing that scene, put her over the edge. And now she's kind of like, she's in a deep, like she's very deep in psychosis at this point. Or after this point, I should say.
Right. They still have more of the movie to film.
Yes.
And as
she's got to go back tomorrow.
And there's more things. So she's already over the edge and she's just trying to push through. And before they film the next scene, her guy manager sees a fan letter and picks it up and it blows up and it like fucks his hand.
This was before the scene.
It was before the scene, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. This is before the
that
scene.
already was making her, because she got the letter that said traitor on it. This fan letter blew up but a piece comes falling down, and it's the same letter. That's it's like all burnt up, but you can see that it's the same thing that says the traitor on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that mixed with the other thing, mixed with the scene happening, mixed with her fish dying, all these things are now all like
Highlight on the fish. Highlight on the fish.
highlight on the fish. But all these things are now hitting her one after another after another.
Yeah.
It's just a brutal mental beatdown for poor Mima.
So basically, I want to say like the kind of like the next big thing that happens after the scene is there's basically like we mentioned the stalker, right? In the opening concert, and he's relevant throughout the film. Like you see him
Yeah, he
throughout the
keeps
film.
popping up wherever
Yeah.
she is. He keeps like
Yeah.
popping up in the
Yeah.
background. She'll catch glimpses
Yeah,
of him
or
just staring.
if people are talking about Mima or something like that, like the guy from Toonami, Tom from Toonami, like that voice actor, his character, him and his buddies, like you'll see them in a couple scenes, just like talking about like the progression of like Mima's
and
career and
he's
stuff
there.
like that.
He's like right
And
next
he's
to them.
there, yeah. And there's this one scene that happens where like, so after the scene and all that, they're kind of talking about that, and they're like, wow, the numbers for this show have like skyrocketed,
actually,
right?
like it actually worked. Like she's doing it. She's now actually getting recognition. The show was starting to, the thing starting to get hype behind it.
Yep, all because
got
of this
higher
rape
ratings.
scene. But this stalker, right? You see him; he is visibly upset. Like he is pissed. Like he's basically like, oh, like this perfect image of Mima is ruined, and he can't handle it. So like he's sitting there like
he
hearing
starts
them, and
losing
he's
it
freaking.
more because he gets mad at her for that. But then she, as you find out that the movie did well and the ratings went up, she starts doing like more like photo shoots.
Photographer.
She's like,
I was working into it, man.
well, she does numerous photo shoots, but like she's kind of getting more and more slutty as the photo. Like it's a compilations of different like photos and different interviews that she's doing, and like the reporters are like, "How did you feel about doing this scene?" She's like, "I felt like I needed to in order to be taken seriously as an actress." But then again, the fame's getting to her now. She's doing like, she's taking photos in her underwear, and then it's not just in her underwear anymore. Then the top comes off and she's doing topless photos. And that's where the stalker sees a magazine and fucking loses it. He literally buys the entire rack of magazines that he sees, and he's pissed.
Mm-hmm. And this photographer's pretty relevant to the film, and which we'll tie it all together.
All these different people, the director, the photographer, the stalker, the managers, everyone's playing a pivotal role and just kind of making things worse.
Really, like honestly, for Mima, downhill. Nobody's got Mima's back other than Rumi.
Yeah. And she's kind of on a high right now because she's doing well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's taking these photos. She's getting paid a lot of money to do it. But, you know, she's starting. But again, this is what.
So like
what Hollywood does is like they.
I was gonna say, this is the realism, right? Career high, personal, mentally low. So like she's like, and that's the realism of this film. Part of it. So then from there, like you were saying, like there's a photographer scene after the rape scene where like he kind of takes very explicit photos of Mima, right? He starts like at first like she's like not doing too much, like she's just like she's not really showing much, and then he kind of like pushes her into like going like full nude, like showing everything, like getting edgy, like she's like, yo, come on,
that axe spoon right up in the open for everybody.
Yeah. So he basically he gets her to do all of this, and then like Nick was saying, the stalker sees this and he can't take it. Like he's like, no. So one of the very interesting scene is it pans to the stalker, right? And the stalker's on the computer and he's messaging somebody. you come to find out that he's messaging somebody on Mima's room. And this person is claiming to be the real Mima.
Mima.
And they're like, I couldn't do this basically without you. Like, I appreciate you. Like, this is what I want. Like, this would be like a big favor. Basically, like asking this man to do something. You don't know what yet, but like they're pleading to this man, like, as the real Mima, like, hey, if you love me, if you're like my supporter, like, this is what needs to be done. Like, you know? And so that kind of ties into a little debate me and Nick were having, but like, we'll get into it as like the spoilers unravel and stuff.
Yeah, we're trying not to spoil as much as possible.
And it's fucking hard,
up until
guys.
the end, and it's so fucking hard. But
It's
really,
fucking
what
hard.
we need to tell you now is that the director has been, it kind of gets slipped that he didn't have the full script ready yet. He's been working on the movie, and more's to come. But he said, like, if you thought what Mima went through already was bad, wait till like what we have in store for her, because it's gonna get like rough.
But this is after, like I was just saying, the stalker got the message, right? Like, the stalker got this message on Mima's room. And then this is one of the following scenes.
Which is great. You know, he's in the garage. He thinks he hears someone kind of following him, and he gets to the elevator, and all of a sudden you hear this like music, kind of muffled, sounds old school, off in the distance, and he cannot figure out where it's coming from. He's looking around and he's panicked a little bit.
So you know what the music is? Like, which is like kind of a cool thing, which we talked about. It's Chan. Right? It's the band that Mima left. Like, the music is playing like their
like
old
their
music.
most popular song.
Yes, with Mima.
So the elevator door ding opens up, and he turns around panicked, and then cuts to the next scene, and the elevator opens up on a different floor, and you just see this dude laying on the ground, blood splattered all over the fucking wall. His eyes have been stabbed the fuck out. He is bleeding from both eyes. His eyeballs are gone. It's just dark holes in where he is, deader than a doornail.
Yeah, and I love that scene. I will say, I feel like that's like a classic like elevator death scene, right? Like, you get murdered, like you don't see the murder, and the elevator opens and like just dead body. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe this is where that cliche came from.
Shit, yeah, hey, Perfect Blue, inspiration for all. That's right. That's right. And see, I'm getting so jammed now, like going back and forth. Like, I'm trying to like piece together. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, you're gonna watch this film. You're gonna have it like set in your mind. Like, you're gonna be like, oh, dude, I get this.
Right now, I'm still going through scenes and being like,
that's what I'm saying. Watch it again, right? Watch it a second time.
Watch it like 2 or 3 times, and then come comment.
I promise, after the second time, dude, you're gonna question what the hell you just like. What happened?
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, so going from the elevator scene, things start getting hectic, and Mima starts to like kind of she's still spiraling. Right.
Mm-hmm. Still seeing her fake, like, weird pop self talk to her.
Yeah, that's something that, like, I feel like that's like something that's like super relevant, like, throughout the goddamn film. Actually, next thing that fucking happens, like, just to like get into like the pop star thing, is she's going to see like her old band members, like the 2 or whatever, at like the studio.
Yes, that are at like that radio show or whatever they were doing. They were doing a podcast.
Yeah, so they're going to see, and actually, see, this is where we're going to be jumping through this. Okay. Timeline, I think director gets killed, and then I think Stalker is on the computer. You don't know what happens first, but as the film, you watch it, its director gets killed. Stalker is on the computer getting this message from Mima's room.
Mm-hmm.
And then it plays into this scene where it's basically Mima going to see her old like band mates and band members, like, you know, her homies, old
Yep.
homies, like Cham. She's going to see Cham.
Yep.
And she walks into the studio, right, to like go see them. Like she was super excited to see them. She was like, hell yeah, like this will be like a nice refresher, like at it, like this whole acting fiasco, traumatizing bullshit that's been going on, making me see my weird self in a little tutu running around. But so she goes into this. So she goes into the studio to go see her bandmates, and they like turn to see her, and they're like, "Oh, it's Mima." And Mima like looks in, and then all of a sudden she like gasps, like she's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And sitting in the studio with them is that hallucination that she's been seeing. It's herself in this like her little like getup, like the little tutu thing that she wears when she's like on stage, and she loses it. Like she's like, "Holy shit!" She like starts running this thing like, or yeah, she starts running. At first, I was gonna say yeah, but it's weird because
she runs into that woman and knocks all the shit over. Remember?
Yeah, but she's not running from it; she's chasing it, which is like, I'm gonna have to go rewatch this
like
again.
She was, at first it looks like she's running away, and then you realize that she's actually chasing it because somehow the girl got from behind her to in front of her.
Yeah, like she's like, what the heck? Who is that? And then she's running and she's chasing herself now throughout. And dude, I swear to God, the way this thing moves is hilarious. Like it's like a floaty little skip. Like it's like it's like a little hop skip of herself. And dude, the worst part is like, I don't know if you guys have ever like, you know, like you fight with your siblings when you're young or something, you guys like start mouthing off together and like you get pissed and one of them says something and you're like, fuck it, dude. You like start chasing them, but you can't catch them. That's like how this is. Like, it's literally like she's chirping her and just like darting away from her, like bouncing away from her. And it's like, nah, dude, like I swear to God, like that alone would drive me like to the loony bin. Like
100%.
with all the other stuff. But yeah, so that's the next scene, right? She goes around chasing herself. Fuck it.
So what happens next is that the photographer gets it.
That's the very next thing?
That's the next big thing. Major in the plot is that the photographer gets it.
That's right. That's right. That is the next big thing. That's when they call
and are like, "Are you okay?" And then they're on the other side of the line.
That's right. And this is a big like discussion that me and Nick have had with so basically the photographer scene, like when he gets murdered, right? He answers the door and he's like, like, how much do I owe you? And the guy
it's a pizza delivery person at the door who steps in with the pizza
delivery person that looks like Mima with a hat on, a little suit on, right? But in the scene, he says, he's like, you're a weird guy, huh?
You're a weird looking pizza guy. He specifically says guy, and I'll put a voice clip of that in here right now.
Granted, I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm sure Mission Impossible or some movie has some get up like that where like the girl looks like a dude and she's undercover. Like it could happen, but like I feel like that was a hint. Like that was a hint of like who the killer is, right? But so with this scene, like he's basically like, oh, you're a weird looking pizza guy or pizza delivery guy, and he's going to like reach in his wallet, right? Like get some money and bam, bro, like sickle to the eye. Like I mean, like hard uppercut to the eye, and it's funny because in the scene, right, like I said, this movie's very graphic. You see it like bang right in the eye, and it sits there for a second. Like the guy doesn't even realize what the hell just happened.
He's like,
he sits there and he's like,
and then blood that splits.
And then he freaks right after like everything starts pouring, and he feels like he waits like a good 5 years, but like, you know, he's sitting there and then bang, freaks out and he's like losing it. He's in pain. and this person just comes up and starts shanking him, like really giving it to him. And in the scene,
over and over
and over,
and over.
and in the scene is Mima killing him. It's Mima dressed up in a
With a
pizza
blanket.
delivery thing, yakking on him. But then it eventually shows her face, like, you know, when she was freaking out. And then what's something that happens throughout the movie is Mima wakes up in her bed and like startled. Like she's like, what the fuck just happened? And then that's like how Nick was saying she gets the call and it's the co-director, not Rumi, the other co-director. And he's like, are you all right? Where are you? Da, 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 da. And she's like, what's going on? He's like, oh, da, 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 the
photographer's dad.
Couldn't tell you the photographer's name.
Regardless, but he's dead.
Yeah.
He's like, so when she woke up, she's looking at her hands like she just witnessed what we witnessed, which was her killing the photographer.
Yes.
Or it's very weird because it's clearly her in the scene, but we don't think it's her.
But it's a sickle. All right. It's the painter's like fucking, I don't know, sickle. Calling it a sickle. I don't know if it's a sickle, but I'm calling it a sickle. You know, that painter tool, that Michelangelo carving marble tool. You know what I'm saying? It ain't
ice
enough.
picker.
The ice pick. Perfect. I actually think that's what it is. It's the ice picker.
Yeah.
And I just watched the scene, just went back to confirm it's the sickle, which is great because when we get to the end of the movie, like this is good on my theory. But anyways, So yeah, kills the photographer.
Wakes up. She woke up, found the news out that the photographer died. Then she finds the bloody clothes. And then she's like, oh shit, I got to get out of here. Maybe the bag of bloody clothes wasn't there to begin with, because we know she's already hallucinating. So maybe the bag of bloody clothes was a hallucination, which is yet another thing that I just thought of right now. And I'm like,
it could, because we don't really know.
Unless Mima was the killer the whole time.
No, not our girl Mima. Like, I don't accept that.
No, I don't either. I need Mima to be okay.
That's right.
I need her to.
But so then
justice for Mima.
What starts to play out, which we haven't really, like, I mean, we have brought it up, but like not to this extent. What's been happening throughout the film is like we said, like Mima's been like waking up and like you'll go through a scene, right? There's a scene after this one where it's Mima like she's on set.
She like wakes up like 3 times.
And she keeps like something happens and she keeps like she's too traumatized, too dissociated with reality. Like she keeps like blanking out and she like will just wake up in her bed. And now she's like really out of it, right? Like she's like, she doesn't know what's real and what's not. And she says it to her like co-star. She's like, oh, like, was that real? Or she wakes up in her bed and she's like, was that real? And then she's talking to Rumi in like a dream, I guess. But you don't know it's a dream because like they just keep flipping scenes on you. And then it flips to like her in the middle of her scene and her co-star's like, that's going to give me nightmares. Like, what the heck was that? Like, you know, that's...
And the director's throwing you off more, too, because the movie that she's in and filming, you even hear the co-stars. Like, she's playing somebody in the movie that's going through something similar that she's going through in real life. But in the movie, the actors are saying Mima. So the character she's playing is named Mima, but then you're like, or is it just in her mind? And it hurts my brain.
And that's it. I kind of like how you like brought up like what the director was doing with the movie that they're filming within the movie, right? Like the Mima's acting career now movie.
Yeah,
that movie gives it foreshadows so much of like the plot, which now I'm like starting to question, like, is he trying to throw us off through this movie, or is this like foreshadowing like what's actually going on within the movie? Because it's pinpointing like the mental disorders, the mental like things that are going on with Mima and Rumi within that show. Like they talk about the personality disorder, multiple personality disorder. They talk about like having hallucinations and like being out of touch with reality. And like, you don't really know who they're talking about. Like, you know, it's Mima's character in the movie, but then you're like, wait, like, this sounds a lot like what's actually going on in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
and they call the character Mima. Like they call
like,
the character
I like
Mima,
that you said that, because
Mima leans against the glass and goes, "I'm Mima," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah,
so
it's a mind fuck.
Like you're sitting there, like, "What?" And that's the director fucking with you right there, right then and there. Because who's telling the truth? Who's not telling the truth? What is real? What is that? Excuse me, who are you?
Absolutely. And so at this point in the movie, just to kind of wrap
tie
up
it all
tie it all to what we've gotten to. So at this point in the movie, like, Mima's so far gone, right, with all the trauma that she's gone through. Like, she's so deep in psychosis, she doesn't know what's real and what's not. Rumi is so goddamn upset by, you know, the image. Yeah, for the most part, the image of what is Mima now, like what the public sees Mima now, to the image that she has in her like head. Basically, how she views Mima to like what people are seeing Mima now, like she can't take it. So Rumi's losing her shit because she's like, dude, like, this isn't Mima. So, and then, you know, that ties into Stalker also losing it because he can't handle the new Mima and like the way she is now, like, you know, displaying herself and everything and like this new persona. He can't handle that either. The co-manager don't give a fuck as long as he's getting paid. At least that's like what I got from it, right?
Yeah. No, he flat out is like, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like if he's getting money, like he don't care. Which, you know, like we'll get to him in a minute. But so yeah, that's basically like where we're at after everything that just happened. These are like the level of sanity for each character, right? All of them insane at this point. Mima,
every one
Rumi, and
Stalker.
The Stalker. We'll just call him the Stalker because I'm gonna butcher his name, honestly. Mania, Me-Mania, something like that.
Yeah.
Those three main, those are kind of like the big ones throughout this film, honestly. All of them insane at this point. One of them so out of touch with reality. Two of them, all of them, honestly, so out of touch with reality.
They're all kind of seeing a weird all three of them see different versions.
Yeah. And then that's like a crazy thing about this film, because like you don't know whose eyes you're looking through as you're watching the film. Like they jump around so much, like you question, like, wait a minute, am I watching Mima right now, or like what is happening? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they and I like we were talking about, I think that's how the director wanted it to be. I mean, clearly 100%. It is. You know, that's how he wrote it. But
and in the interview I saw, that's what he said in the interview, was that he wanted to leave it so that you're making up all these different theories in your head. And fuck, it works. It still works.
It does. We've been fucking back and forth all pod.
The whole time, dude. But at this point, we're back with the Stalker, and we're in his room, and he gets a message from fake Mima, or the person in Mima's room. And she's saying to him, you know, I appreciate that you're my biggest fan. You've been such a big help to me. I have a problem that I need you to take care of. It's this fake Mima, meaning the real Mima, who's an imposter. And she's like bringing bad about my name, and I need something done about it. And the guy's like, say less. And we kind of go from there.
Yep. So then from this point, I don't remember specifically where Mima's at, like before this all happens, but she's either in like or she just got off scene or something like that. Like it was like one of
Yeah,
like
she's
the
at the
final
studio.
scenes. Yeah, she's at the studio. They just like did like one of the scenes where like they kind of like foreshadow what's going on in the movie, right? Like kind of that scene we were just talking about where like
Yeah.
the co-star is talking about like the condition that like the Mima character, the one that's being played in the movie, is
Yeah.
like her condition. She's talking about that. And then that scene cuts and Mima's like walking out or whatever. Rumi and the co-manager are like sitting by the car, like, dude, like, where's Mima? Or, well, Rumi really is the one that says, she's like, hey, where's Mima? And I don't know what that worthless co-manager says, honestly, but he doesn't give a shit either way. And then,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what he says to that, but basically it ties into, so Mima is like kind of like backstage, kind of.
So
And
he just said, can you bring Mima home as he walked away? He told Rumi to bring Mima home because Rumi says, Mima's not out yet. What's taking her so long? And at the same time that this is happening, Mima is walking alone because it's late at night. They've been recording all day. So she's walking alone in a hallway in the studio where she gets attacked. But Rumi was with the other manager waiting outside by the car, and they were all going to drive home together.
Yeah.
And instead, he asked Rumi to give Mima a ride home, and he just went and left because he doesn't give two shits about anything.
That's right. And then another little side thing, I know we keep doing this. Something that happens after the photographer is killed, right? Like during this scene that we're talking about that's being filmed, like before, like this whole like next thing we're gonna talk about. But basically, after fucking the photographer's Mima's in this scene, right? Like her movie scene, and she's looking down. There's like a murder in the movie, and she's looking down at like the character that just got murdered, and it's the photographer. Like she's so dissociated now, like she's seeing like the photographer and like the murders happen in her head, and like she's like, whoa. And then she blinks and it cuts. And this is where the movie's a mind fuck, and it like takes you to like her talking to her co-star in the back of a hallway. And they're like, I don't know what the hell they were talking about, honestly. I don't remember. But they're in the back of the hallway, like just shooting the shit. And then she, like the co-star walks off, and as Mima turns down the hall, who other than the notorious stalker, Leatherface, staring her down. And I'm telling you guys, like once you watch the movie and you see the opening scene and you see his face,
you'll realize just how far apart Rumi's eyes are, and that's gonna scare you right away.
I mean, that's worse than the Leatherface, for sure. Like, I mean, like, out to here, for sure. But I was going to say, like, besides Rumi, right? This is the worst. This is the last person that you want to catch, like, in a one-way lane with you. Like, nowhere to go. But, yeah, so it cuts to, like, basically, like, after the conversation, like, Mima wakes up. She keeps waking up. Like, that's, like, a theme in this movie that you're going to find. Like, she keeps, like, what after jam after after the whole scene, right? And when she spirals, right, and she's really out of touch with reality, the common theme in this movie is now Mima kind of jumping and waking up like from like different things. And it's kind of like her, like, I look at it as like a defense mechanism, right? Like she can't handle what happens to her. So like she's just getting so lost in everything that is like all the trauma that is just being shoveled down her throat. She's now just like waking up to like random stuff. And one of this is she wakes up with her and her co-star, like I was saying, talking about like something with the scene. Co-star walks off, turns, stalker. And stalker don't look too friendly. Honestly, he don't look friendly throughout this whole movie, but like he's looking extra vicious right now. Like, I mean, like real ferocious in the eyes. You know, that Santi grin on his face. Like he's ready. He's ready.
And he jumps, bro. He jumps her.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mentioned it to you, Joe, but when he starts talking, because like he doesn't talk the entire movie, and you finally hear what his voice sounds like, and it's the highest pitched voice ever. And like you look at him, and he sounds like he would just have like a deep voice that's gonna attack.
Yeah.
But he's like, now you wait. I'm gonna get you. You think you've been doing this? You're not the real Mima. And I'm like, oh my God. This is supposed to be a serious scene right now. Dude has super strength.
He does. He is that stalker strength.
He rips her clothes off with such ease, where I feel like, not that I would ever assault someone, but if I was to try and rip somebody's clothes off, I would like struggle. I'd be like, oh, you just give me one, if I can just, but no, he just like swipes her shirt, that's ripped off, swipes her skirt, that's ripped off, and then just fucking rips her underwear off. I'd accidentally give you the worst wedgie. I would not be able to rip that underwear right off, dude, like he did. It's like, incredible. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he really does. He does like that.
And he's like sweating and shit. You know, he's like, I'm gonna fucking lick you.
Yeah. And that's another, I thank you for bringing that up. That's another thing throughout this movie that is like very like prominent. Like people are like the weird motherfuckers that are doing weird shit. Bullets, bro. Like sweating. Yeah. Bullets, like the photographer when he's filming the nudie, like, or take a picture of the nudie scene,
and he's like excited.
Bullets. The director when where they're filming the rape scene, sweating. Like it's like, dude, these motherfuckers getting themselves so worked up for this shit. Like, they're not there. They're not all there. And yeah, so this motherfucker's sweating. He's ripping her clothes off, strong as an ox. Knocking over walls. And Mima. Bro, she is fighting. Like, that girl is a fighter. And that's another reason why we fucking love Mima. Great protagonist.
Dude.
She's honestly...
Justice for Mima.
Justice for Mima. Honestly, dude, Mima don't need no help. Mima go handle Mima. And she go handle a stalker.
Mima might need a little help.
Mima don't need no help with the stalker. Because Mima proves that she don't need no help with the stalker, right? So Mima, right, being the badass little lady that she is, bro, she fucking fights off. Like, he's got a knife, right? And he's fucking, like, even, like, busting through walls, ripping off her clothes. Like, he's attempting to her, right? Like, he's, like, because, like, he doesn't, there's one stab that, like, goes next to her head. Besides that, he rips her shirt off, right? To expose like her, and then he cuts her underwear off. Like, so he's and then he's over her, right? Like mounted over her, and he's like undoing his belt. Like he's getting ready to do like that weird shit. And Mima, she's a fighter. She ain't gonna give up, right? That's our Mima. And she grabs a hammer.
And she yells, "It's hammer time.
It's hammer time, baby." And she fucking clonks this dude, right? And at first, like, it goes in, and like me and Nick are like, we're like rewatching it, and we're like, wait, what did she hit him with? Because it's like, it looks like it impales him, but she actually hit him with the blunt side of it, and he like, I don't know, he does like that weird little voice,
rolls over, and like, yeah, and just
he like falls over,
hits the ground,
and she's like freaking, and she's like, oh my god, and then it pans back to Rumi. Wait, no. It's panned back to Rumi?
Mima.
But it pans back to Mima?
Yeah,
like I'm saying, like
Mima crawls out of the room, and that's where Rumi walks up on her and goes, "Oh,
there's something.
What happened to you?"
I'm thinking there's something important that happens in between Rumi finding Mima. Like, it cuts to something. That's right. Okay, I got a little refresher. Another mind fuck. So like we said, she keeps like waking up in random places after traumatizing shit. It pans to Mima.
That's right.
In the audience,
on
like
stage.
Basically on stage.
Like
with the audience, and they're like all cheering.
All cheering her.
It's like an encore type thing.
Me up.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was like, wait, there's something important that happens like in between like Rumi finding her. And it is. It's basically like so Mima hits him with the hammer, right? Big motherfucker goes down. Mima's the hero. Pans to her on stage, getting like a round of applause. And she's like giving like a little speech. And then the next scene is like her, like all fucked up, like clothes ripped to shit. Like she's beat up and she's like in the hallway and Rumi finds her and she's like, oh my God, like what happened? Like da da da, like what happened? Rumi looking like the best friend that she is, right? The best friend that she is. And so she takes Mima up to the car, right, to bring her home. And as they're driving, like she tells her, she's like, oh, it's okay. Like we're going to Mima's room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, emphasis on Mima's room.
Because then it briefly cuts to the other manager.
Yep. So it cuts to the other. Yeah. Go ahead. You do
No,
it.
I'll let you say it. You go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
You go ahead. You slut.
So after like she says, we're gonna bring. I'm taking you to Mima's room. It cuts to the other manager, the co-manager that was like, oh, can you drive her home? Whatever. Mm-hmm. And same way that Mr. Shibuya, the director, the photographer, and pretty much everyone else in the film died, eyes cut out of his head, sitting there hunched over, murdered. And guess who's sitting right next to him, also eyes missing, murdered, is the stalker. And so this is where you're like, wait. I just witnessed Mima fight this dude off. She didn't fucking, skewer his eye. She didn't do none of that. She hit him on the head with a hammer and got out of there. Why is this man dead next to the manager, who, mind you, was last seen with Rumi? From there, from the car ride, right? We then pans to Mima waking up in her room and she's looking around, right? And she's like, it was another dream. Kind of like the common theme throughout the movie, her waking up, not knowing, like, jumping around, not knowing what's going on. And she's like looking around. She's like, oh, I'm in my room. And then she looks at the fish tank and she's like, wait a minute. And then turns and sees a Chan poster. And she's like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Because we watched her take that poster down way earlier right when she quit being a pop star. She takes that poster down to see, like, I'm moving on with my life.
Yes.
And she calls for Rumi, and Rumi answers her. She goes, Rumi, and Rumi's in the other room. And she goes, yeah, I'm right here.
Yes.
And so she doesn't think anything. She starts looking around the room. That's where she finds the subtle, like, things that are different.
Yes. And then the big thing for her is, so then after she pans, like turns over, right, sees like the Chan poster and it's like, what the hell? Like Nick was saying, like, I took that shit down, bro. Like I've moved on. She turns to her balcony and she pulls over the curtain and basically the scene, like a train goes by, but basically like what you see from like previously seeing Mima's, like Mima, like actual like Mima.
Yeah, it's a different location.
It's a different location. And she's like, this isn't my room. But it looks like it's almost an exact replica. Like it's almost an exact replica. And she's like, what the hell? Like, this isn't my room. And then so she's like, what the heck's going on? She like says something to Rumi. And then this is where Rumi starts getting fucking weird. And I gotta take a quick fucking piss. So let's take 2 minutes. All right, wait, let's take 2 minutes and then we'll bounce back. Okay. So basically, Mima, like we said, she pulls over the curtains. She sees the train go by and she's like, this is not my room. She's like, what the heck? And behind her, she hears that kind of like her voice, right? Like it's the Mima that she's been seeing in all the reflections, the hallucinations. It's the Mima that's been like pop star Mima that's been haunting her, basically. And she says, of course not. this is Mima's room. Which then, who comes out? She sees Mima at first, right? Like she sees herself. It's basically like looking in the mirror. But we,
Roomy.
What happens is exactly. So what happens is it's Mima looking at each other, and she's like, "Of course not. It's Mima's room," like in a fucking crazy shit. And you're like, "Yo, what?"
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like what is going on? And then in the mirror, you see Rumi dressed up in like the little tutu thing, all dressed up, and she's acting like not the way that Rumi has acted throughout the movie. Like Rumi's now acting like you're seeing the whole like full-blown personality disorder. Like this is the Rumi that's been playing the Mima. Like where you're like, oh,
Rumi is full costume too. She's got the red tutu on. She's got a wig on.
Yep.
She's got the bow in the rib. The whatever they call that. What do they call that? The fucking head strap,
headband, whatever the fuck it is.
I'm bald, guys. I don't fucking know these hair terms.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, bro, or what it is. But so basically, like you see this side of Rumi where like you start connecting dots. Like you're like, wait a minute. She's been talking about Mima's room. She's in Mima's room. You're like, holy fucking shit. Who else could have known all those little things? Like we were saying, like Mima's room is written like a diary, like your own little journal entries of your day to day.
Everything.
She knew everything. Who else is going to know that, right? Other than your best friend, your manager, somebody that is with you day in, day out from the time you get up to the time you go to bed. They know the things you buy. They know that stuff because while you're working, they're going out and getting it. So like, and they know your schedule because they fucking make it. So you put it together right there. You're like, holy shit, Rumi is the one that made Mima's room. She's the one playing as Mima. If it wasn't clear enough, like her, being dressed up as Mima. But so she comes out and she's Mima, right? And you're like, yo, like Rumi, bro, like why that
Rumi
Rumi?
For a loop because I was behind Rumi the first time I watched the movie. I was behind her the whole time. I messaged you in the group chat and I was like, only two good people in this movie, bro, and that's Rumi and Mima. God, I was so wrong.
Yeah,
I should have just finished the film before I messaged you guys because I was fucking wrong.
And I won't lie, I was too, except for the fact that like there are weird little things, right?
Like
that,
when the
she dismisses
envelope blew up and hurt that guy, and they're sitting in Mima's room, and Rumi's explaining to her how the computer works. But there's a moment where Mima asks Rumi, "What are we gonna do?" Because of what happened, like we should have told the police or something. And now that we rewatched it right before we recorded this, you notice that Rumi sits there for a second. You're looking behind Rumi, so you're looking at Rumi's back. And she kind of stops and just stares and then continues going through the computer and goes, "Oh, they said just ignore it. Like, just forget about it. We're going to move on."
And she like, does that. Yeah, exactly. And she does that same thing when Rumi's like, when she first when Mima first discovers Mima's room, and she's like, what the heck? How do they all know this? And Rumi kind of like dismisses it. Like, she's kind of like, dude, they're just like, she basically
super fans.
They're super fans. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about it. Like, she dismisses it. And you kind of connect that, like in that scene, you're like, holy fucking shit. Like, and then you kind of connect like, why the hell was Rumi getting so upset? Like, you're thinking like, oh, she's just a really good friend. Like, nah, dude, she's fucking, she thinks she's Mima. She's crazy. So then, what were you going to say?
I was going to say she's in full-blown attack mode now.
Yeah,
like, it's out in the open and she's ready.
And guess what? She pulls from behind her back, baby. And we're going to get into this, and we're going to let you guys decide, like, whose theory do you think is right, or if we're both wrong. You guys let us
And
know.
give us your theories.
Yeah, and give us your theories, because, like, honestly, dude, at this point, like, shit, like, I could be
Anyone could be
persuaded any which way at this point in this
Literally
movie.
me too. Me
Like,
too.
But so then what does she pull behind her back? The fucking ice picker, dude. Like, she's got that thing ready. The same weapon that killed the photographer. The same, like, dude, all the eyes were fucking carved out. She killed. I'm telling you, dude. Pulls that thing out and starts going at Mima. Mima being the badass girl that she is, right? Like, she's elusive. She's getting out of the way. Like, she ain't going to just, like, get stabbed. So Mima jumps off the balcony, right? With Rumi full blown, like, slasher mode, trying to get her. Can't get her because, like, it's Rumi against Mima, right? Like, you got an elusive, like, pop star versus the wannabe linebacker. And it just, she just couldn't tackle her. She couldn't tackle her. She couldn't make the play. And so then
they start running on rooftops, right? So Mima escapes the room, and then she's seeing the false version of Mima. She's not seeing Rumi in a dress. She's seeing the fake ghost-looking Mima, who's just kind of bouncing after her.
That's what I love. Like that. So that's also a mind fuck, right? Because then you're wondering, you're like, wait a minute, like, was Mima, like, why is she seeing this, like, Rumi? Like, she knows Rumi's chasing her. Why is she seeing herself again? Like, who was she seeing this whole time when she was hallucinating, right? Like, why is she seeing this person? So it just plays into like you not being in touch with, like, reality in this movie. Like, you're so out of, like, you're out of it with Mima. Like, you don't know what's going on at this point, But I like that you brought that up, because I was gonna say something about, like, her basically, skiing towards her. But it's that linebacker coming at you.
So what was funny was you pointed that out, and I didn't notice it at first. But as you see the fake version of Mima, like, doing her little hop, you see in the reflection of the windows as they're jumping from rooftop to rooftop, and, falling a couple of floors, but still running and jumping. You see regular Rumi now in the dress in the reflection, who was fucking from Walking Dead, where Shane's go, what is that? And just a fucking gun, dude, animalistic. She looks fucking crazy in that reflection. Where
another common thing, she's sweating. Bullets,
but I don't believe a big girl is moving that like that. I can't keep.
It happened, dude.
I'm
not saying, like, they, like, clearly she moved like that. I'm just saying, like, it's a whole lot different when you see a linebacker coming at you compared to, the fairy jumping. Which, like, honestly, she was probably so scared that, like, she had to imagine the fairy. Like, she was, oh, fuck. No. Can't be looking at that. Like, fairy.
No.
Fairy, man.
But so fucking Rumi ends up tackling Mima off the roof, and they fall into a bunch of trash and garbage that's in, like, every city scene that in any movie. So they got cushioned, but they're still fighting on the way. They fall, they get back up, and this is, like, the big time where, like, Rumi now is about to stab the shit. There's nowhere for Mima to go. All Mima can do.
Well, she does. So weirdly enough, right? Like, she loses the ice picker, sickle, whatever you want to call it.
Well, when they fall.
When they fall,
she loses. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then she picks up an umbrella, right? Like, she's going, like, full, like, penguin style. She gets the umbrella.
She saw
and that's
the umbrella.
What she actually stabs her with. Like, she does. I'll give it to Rumi.
She hits her twice. She stabs her once with the pick in the shoulder.
Yeah.
So that's why Mima's already moving slow when she's jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
You're right.
So that's probably why the chubby chick could get to herself, is because she's moving slow as it is. It's like in Dead by Daylight when you get stabbed and your character starts moving slowly. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Then she picks up the umbrella, which has the sharpest end to it I've ever seen. She breaks a window trying to stab Mima. And take it from me, guys, you don't just walk away from broken windows like that. She breaks the fucking window and then just turns around and she's like, this is it. You got nowhere to go. All Mima can do is just rip the wig off of, they have this big, sentimental talk about being fucking crazy together. And the wig gets ripped off Rumi's head. And it's kind of like the funniest little meltdown I've ever seen in a movie like this, where like the wig comes off and she stops for a second and then goes and then just like stumbles and falls onto a broken piece of glass, which again, take it from me, I know all about. Fucking hurts.
Well, I think that plays like what they were talking about, like when they have that little sentimental thing, it's basically Mima kind of like pleading to Rumi, like she's like, well, like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I am Mima, and she's like, no, you're not. Like Rumi is saying, like, no, you're not, silly. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the real Mima, like all this, and she's like, what are you saying, dude? Like, no, you are not. I'm the real Mima. Like, you need to like wake up, basically. And she's got her like pinned up against the wall with the umbrella. Like Nick was saying, Mima takes the wig off of Rumi and she like sees herself in a like reflection or something. Yeah, and because of her, her obsession with Mima, she can't handle the reality of her being Rumi. Like
unmasked.
She loses it. So like she like spirals right there. And so she falls on the glass, starts bleeding. But like before that, the reason she freaks out, she's so obsessed with the image of Mima that now she has become Mima. She can't handle the reality of her being Rumi. Sends her into a spiral, right? Like she does this weird thing where she's like freaks the fuck out. Just, kind of pulls a Nikki Pops where like she just goes through glass, right? Like don't know how it happens, but like fucking happen. And she motherfucker starts bleeding.
My God. And the fact that she can just pick herself up off of that and keep moving, I'm like, take it from me. You're not moving fast after getting cut like that. I literally know.
And then, hey, superstar of the goddamn movie. This is why we fucking love her. This is our all-star, our unsung hero. So Mima
Rumi wandered into the middle of the street and now going to what Mima does.
Yeah. So Rumi, like after impaling herself, like freaks out, like she's wobbling around, right? She's doing a little stanky leg, getting into the street. Yeah, she's grooved.
That the killer.
She's grooved. She's grooving, right? Got it. Keep it, actually.
Keep it, man. Keep it,
baby.
We live for that.
I love it. But so she wanders into the middle of the street, right? And all of a sudden there's like I don't know what time this all happened at, but I'm assuming it's pretty late at night because there's nobody on the street to like seeing this going on.
I mean, it was daytime out. There was
it was night. It was the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah, because when they're hopping from rooftop to rooftop, it's nighttime. You're right.
And then also, so what happens when she gets into the middle of the street? There's a truck that's coming, right? He's got his
like
beamers on. Yeah, he lights her up. And basically, Rumi at that point, I think this is
ready to die.
Yeah, I think this is her point where like she kind of accepted her reality, but like knew that like she couldn't live in it.
She's
so
bleeding out too. So
yeah, she kind of accepts death. Like she's like, no, I don't want to be Rumi, and I can't be Mima. Like, come at
take me now.
Like take me, Mr. Trash Man.
Take me, Lord, take me.
Our unsung hero, like I was saying, our all-star Mima, dude, like she don't, like even with all the hate, even with all the trauma, all the attempted murders that she went through, she goes out, right, and fucking bodies fucking Rumi out of the way of the oncoming truck and saves her life. Saves her life. I swear to God, watch the movie.
And then they both pass out after that. The truck drivers get out and they're like, you call the ambulance, call the 911. We need to take care of this. So they both pass out.
Yes. And then, so what happens after that? Another thing pans over, right? And you see Mima in nice little shades too. Like, she was looking fly, dude. Like, she had nice little shades. She had a nice little getup, but she's at like a rehab
Mental
place.
institution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the, you know, the real way of saying it. I was trying to be nice, but mental
No,
institution.
fuck those mental people. Fuck those crazies.
She was at the loony bin. And so she's like looking over, and the doctor standing next to her, and he's like, I didn't expect you to be here or whatever. And she's looking out, and she's looking at Rumi, who is, you know, in the
Kind of
scene,
walking around in a circle, holding flowers.
she's holding flowers, and she seems normal. And the doctor says to Mima, when he's talking to her, she's like, yeah, like most of the time,
Rumi personality. So she
comes out
not
every
really
now and then.
normal. She's kind of like groggy and just kind of like on autopilot. She's not like
She's not normal
with it.
In my opinion, she hasn't improved, because basically what he says is, he's like, the Rumi personality comes out
every once in a while,
which
and then
probably worse.
She herself walks up to a mirror and then sees fake Mima version again. So she's still psycho. She's still in there, and nothing's been fixed for her. But the real Mima, who's on the other side of the glass, this is like a good kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Powerful, like, closure, I guess, that she needs to see.
It is closure. That was perfect.
Because
I couldn't have said that better myself.
David, you know I'm so bashful. Yeah, so Stuart.
You're embarrassing me in front of my fans.
Come on. These guys are supposed to think I'm tough from Boston. But basically, you know, Mima, you know, she leaves. She's done. She sees that, you know, Rumi's in there. And I don't know if it's that she's holding on to this thing of Rumi, who took care of her for so long, that there is this still kind of love, even though it's a fucked up, weird relationship. She still kind of loves Rumi enough to go and check up on her.
Yeah.
But when she leaves, that's where you hear like a couple of the people working there going, oh my God, is that Mima? Like, whatever her last name is. And they go, oh no, I think it's just a lookalike, which is like, you know, basically the whole plot of the movie. And then Mima gets into the car.
Who is
she
Mima?
Overheard them. And she said, no, it's the real me.
Yes. And that's how it ends. But, which is a great ending, right? Like.
Great. It was such a classic line.
What I wanted to bring up, like, kind of, so another, I feel like somebody could come up with this theory. I don't know if this is how I think, but this is like, it was a thought, right? Like, so when Rumi, right, you see her in the insane asylum, and she's like walking up with the flowers, and she gets to the mirror, and you see that fake Mima. Something that ran through my head was, I was like, wait a minute, who the fuck was having the hallucinations then, seeing the fucking fake Mima? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, throughout the movie, like, who is the one that is actually experiencing? Three of them.
Because because the stalker at one point, when he's all night going, every time they show him in the middle of the night sweating and being on the website, there's the fake Mimas talking to him. Now, I don't know if that's symbolizing. You remember? Well, she appears next to him, but I don't know if that's supposed to be just him reading the messages out loud. But
yeah. But no, you are right. It is pans on the screen. You're right. So they all see this image of this. And it's crazy. It's the same image of the Mima. It's the Mima that you see at the beginning of the movie, doing the pop idol. It's that Mima. They all see her. So it makes you question, like, wait a minute, like, are they all seeing this Mima? Are they all having these hallucinations? Is it just Mima? Is it just Rumi? Like, who is seeing this? Like, is the director trying to, like, just like, signify, like, It's Rumi talking to the stalker through the computer. Like, that's how she sees herself. So it's like, did Mima ever see them? There's a lot of questions that come into play. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the reason why I think this movie is so goddamn.
So let me ask you, now that we're officially done with the movie,
Yes.
what would you rate this movie on a letter scale from F to A+?
F to A+.
And then I'll give you what I think after.
I mean, dude, this movie was phenomenal. Like, I really enjoyed reviewing it. I really loved rewatching it. I think it's a movie that I'm definitely going to rewatch, like, and probably keep rewatching because, like we were talking about, I think it's one of those movies where, like, you could watch it 100 times and pick something new up every single time.
And apparently the director made another movie, which is also very, like, not as well known as
Paprika?
this one.
Is it Paprika? Yes.
Yep.
I actually knew about that movie and not this one, which is crazy. Like, cause I did see that. I see that he directed that and I was like, no fucking way, dude. Like, I was like, what? Which is crazy, which I'm not going to lie to you. I like this movie more than that one.
Have you seen Paprika?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have. Which, hey,
shit,
you want to get me on another one, babe? I'll fucking come through.
Dude.
Get me on another one, man. I'm fucking ready.
Rumi?
I'm fucking hustling through
Run
this
over
bitch,
there
bro.
like Rumi after Mima.
Although I might be mispronouncing it. I couldn't tell you.
No, it's Paprika.
But
I've heard of the movie. I didn't know the plot of it. Yeah, so F to A+.
That would be a very good one to review. But anyways, back to this one. Letter-wise, like I said, like, I mean, this movie confused the shit out of me, which I also kind of like. You know, like,
yeah,
you want somebody that's like going to keep you on your toes. You know, you're not expecting what's going to happen next. And also he's going to like kind of gaslight you. Like, you don't know what the fuck is going on, you know? I like that shit. So I mean, I was going to say, I feel like cliche giving it like an A+ because it is just like a phenomenal movie.
And I've given plenty of things A+.
But I would honestly, I would give this movie an A+, honestly. Like, I like how real the story is. The only thing that I would knock off on this movie, like things that like I think they missed on this movie, was how engaging some of the characters were, right? Because like it's really,
you don't really care about anyone but
other than Mima. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the biggest flaw to this movie. But for me, that's not enough to take away the plus. Like, I still think the animation, like that, his animation, bro, like I got a soft spot for that. Hand drawn. I got a soft spot for it. So like I put that at top tier.
Love it.
Like I was just trying to say, like the plot of the movie, the realism of the movie, just the environment, like we were saying, the animation, like just like that. It's almost like it's like it keeps you on your edge, right? It's like a nightmarish environment, right? She keeps waking up from these fucking bad dreams. Like I was engaged throughout the movie. Like this is one of those
the whole time.
Because normally I'll watch a movie, bro. Like I do enjoy my movies, right? But like I'll watch a movie and like, dude, I'll fucking start playing on my phone. Not once this one. Like I was really drawn into this one, so I gotta give it the A+ just for that. The only thing that I would minus it on is, like I said, is like kind of like it didn't really have too many engaging characters. Really, it only had one engaging character, like we just said, was Mima. All the rest were kind of just like fillers in my mind. Like, yes, they
like
played like
everyone
two of them
who died.
Yeah,
I didn't even feel bad. You know what I mean? I wasn't emotionally attached to the people who died.
And the two that did have some backing to them. Like, I just don't feel like they had enough. And I feel like he wrote it that way for a reason, right? Like, he didn't want to give you too much, because if he gave you too much into Rumi, I think that would have spoiled, like, who's behind Mima's room and all of that early on. I think he threw the stalker in there to really throw you off. Like, that's like my interpretation of the movie. But yeah, I'd give that movie an A+. I think I think it's something that, you know, everyone or anyone that like is a fan of anime, and a fan of
And
horror
horror. Or
and horror thriller films. I think this is a must watch. I think this is one of those films that you gotta see. Like if you're a true
yeah,
horror fan, like this is one of those ones that like if you haven't seen, man, like
when a
that's a point
cartoon can
against you.
actually scare you, it does a phenomenal job. I also am gonna give it an A plus. And I have not a gripe, but also a thing where I would say, like, I could kind of almost give it an A because of it, but I don't think it's enough to knock down the plus, like you said, where I think maybe this movie might make you think a little too much,
Yeah.
but
I mean, well, so
but
is that a bad
also
thing though?
that's the thing
You
is,
know?
can it knock some people out of being a fan of it? Maybe.
Absolutely.
For
Yeah. I
me,
agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
for me, you you did the watch along for this movie. I edited your watch along. As I'm watching the movie with your commentary on it, I became fucking drawn in. Like I became sucked in. Like I was super invested into the story and stuff. And I'm just editing. And I was like, fuck, dude, this
Yeah.
movie's fucking awesome.
Well,
And
that's
then
like I said, that's why I texted you right afterwards. I was like, bro, like I'm not gonna lie, like you gotta check it out. Like it was
it
good.
was so
Which
fucking good. It made me
for
want to come and do this episode for it so that we can release it on Halloween with the spooky season. It's
hell
just
yeah.
perfect, perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a sucker for that 90s. I'm glad you fucking said that too, dude, because like Santi, like anything that's old, Santi fucking shits on. And so I'm a sucker for that
I'm a
1990s Yu
stalker.
Yu
That
Hakusho,
hand
like
drawn shit.
Rurouni Kenshin type of hand drawn, just brings me back. Dragon Ball Z too. I'm not saying that the new stuff and what they can get away with the
Say that all the
new
time.
stuff isn't good.
And it's not that it's not. I am a sucker, like you were saying,
Yeah.
for that like old style shit. Like I see it and I'm like, oh fuck, dude, like I'm invested. Like it could be
So
a fucking movie about I shouldn't say that, but like I love that style of animation. I'm very drawn to it. So it's always a couple points up if I see that, you know?
and then just before we wrap up, because we're already over 2 hours and 11 minutes. But
Well, we gotta give our
gotta
theories.
do. Yeah, so that's what I was about to go into. Me and Joey have been jumping back and forth since we first started our call, even before that a little bit, where we got a couple of theories on what was going on now that we finished the movie, because I was wrong throughout the movie. When Rumi
So was
showed
I.
up to be the killer, I was like, fuck, I was off. And that, I loved that I was wrong. Like, I loved that I was wrong with my theory. And I went, oh my God, dude, fuck that. That was an awesome reveal. And then the climax was just great. But we've been trying to figure out who did the killings. Did Rumi do all the killings? Did Rumi have the stalker do the killings? Did the stalker just kill the first guy who was causing a ruckus at the final show? And then did Rumi do all the other killings? So we're asking you, comment on whatever you see this on, whatever platform you're watching it on, Flashback Cartoon Hour, on Spotify, on Instagram, YouTube, whatever have you. We want to know, because I have a feeling that both of them were doing killings. The I think that she was having him kill in a certain way so that she could pin things on him. And then when he got hurt fighting Mima, she was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna end it all, and just killed him too.
So I
But
think
I feel like she was because she got him to go after Mima. She said,
Mhm.
this person is in my way, but there's no way that she wouldn't already be like, this director is upsetting me. This photographer made me feel uncomfortable. And then he's like, say less. I'll go fuck him up right now. I think maybe she killed the other manager I know for a fact she killed the other manager, and it was definitely right when he started to walk away. I bet she ran up and stabbed him with a knife. But the other ones, this is a big girl, and you can't tell me that she's fighting every single one of these guys and winning. I mean, I don't know. The way she was running, you're right. It was very creepy. She fucking looked like a fucking freight train coming at you.
So that's what, like, I keep questioning my own theory, like, especially after we rewatched it, because originally when I watched this whole movie through, I thought Rumi was behind all of the killings, right? I thought her obsession with Mima and the idea of like Mima being this perfect pop star and then it getting tainted through the acts that she had to commit through her acting career drove her nuts. And basically everyone that kind of like,
Added to it.
added to that bad image. Like we were saying, the director with choosing the rape scene, the photographer with the nudie photos. Who else did she fucking butcher?
Just all of it. And what you find out too is that Rumi is a former pop star that did this exact thing, tried to become an actress, didn't cut it, and then had to fall back to being a manager for a pop group when she was the star.
But you wouldn't know that without reading the book, correct?
Yeah. Well, I watched interviews and reviews and shit. So that's just something that, I mean, it is a fact that she was a former pop star. And so whatever she's seeing herself in Mima and then Mima's tarnishing, she's like, I can't go through that again. Because she worked so hard to build Mima up to what she is. And then Mima's now destroying the image that built for Mima.
So,
because Rumi really did all of this for Mima.
Yeah, so ultimately, we agree on Rumi ultimately being behind Mima's room and kind of coordinating all of the killings, right? We just disagree
she's
on
the mastermind.
Yeah,
we just want to know who did the stabbing.
Yeah, who was the one committing the murders? And then another thing that I wanted to bring up that we were talking about earlier, but like couldn't spoil because we wanted to wait till the end, is throughout the film, there are scenes where Mima is in her room and we're trying to determine if every scene is Mima in her room or if it cuts between Mima being in her room and Rumi being in Mima's room or her room, and which scene is which. So if
and
you
it
guys,
looks identical to Mima, but it's
they do
Rumi.
Exactly. So if you guys have any insight on that, you want to like help us out or give your opinions, we would love that. Because like we're kind of down to the consensus of what, like, first scene is definitely Mima, broken glass scene is Rumi, like after the rape scene, we're thinking like when she breaks the fish tank, we're thinking that is Rumi freaking out because she really can't handle what Mima just went through.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what we decided for that one?
Yeah, I think so, because it was she saw the dead fish and then freaked out. But the fish were dead, and
so the only thing with that is the fish, like, I mean, you did say when fish die, they change color, but like,
yeah, they turn all white. I think that Rumi is so caught up in her fantasy of being Mima that she's not taking care of the fish. Whereas Mima idolized those fish. She loved her fish. She would have fed them at any point. So what would have killed them? I think when we see those dead fish, it's actually we're watching Rumi, who now goes over to her own fish and sees that they're dead, and then watching the fake rape scene with Mima. And now that the fish and everything, I think she just starts snapping. That's because immediately after that scene, we see that something new is added to Mima's room. Like immediately after she freaks out, we now see that she went on there and said that this new director doesn't know what he's talking about, and this new director is like an asshole, and starts shitting on him.
Yeah.
I think it's that she's having a mental breakdown, looks at her computer, and then immediately goes and then pretends to be Mima on Mima's room and then writes that. And that's where she gets connected, I think, to the stalker. I want to know how she gets connected to the stalker.
It's
really.
definitely through. It's definitely
Mima's
it's
room.
Probably,
when?
It's Mima's room. I'm assuming the stalker. Probably. That's a good question, actually. Like, I'm assuming he probably writes like a fan letter
he
or
was
something.
already being creepy with her. So we know at the beginning of the movie that Mima's room's already established, because as she's leaving that first
Maybe he's
thing,
behind the fan letter that blows up.
He definitely is.
But how do we not know that that's Rumi? You know what I'm saying?
Because Rumi was the one who got quiet when she said, well, why didn't we call the cops on that? And she was like,
yeah, and she was like, So maybe she,
maybe
I don't
they're
know.
working
See,
together.
that's something.
Maybe they started talking before the movie. We don't know. We know
exactly.
We know that Mima's room was established because of how early that one of the fans yelled, I love watching Mima's room.
Yes, like that was a thing
already as she's going in there. So we know it's established. So we don't know when the stalker got in contact with fake Mima, aka Rumi.
Exactly.
Kasei. But honestly, dude, I think we've made it through. I think I got nothing else more to say about it. Unless you got something else you want to throw at them, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'll let you say whatever you want to say, your little final piece.
All I was gonna say, like, I loved reviewing this movie. I definitely think it's something you guys gotta check out. It kind of, I don't know, it touches on all those things that kind of draw people into like TV shows, you know? Especially like everyone loves to watch fucking somebody with like some real sick, crazy shit going on with them, because like it's just something that you're like, oh shit. And then especially with this one, it's something that could like really, it's something that really does happen. So it kind of draws you in even more. The way it was
It's just nice to see a standalone anime movie, whereas like when you're used to watching anime, it's a big long season or whatever have you, with a plot that goes on throughout the whole season, whereas this was really well tied together. It worked. It made me feel things, and that was awesome, because I love any kind of movie that makes me feel. I'm like all over the place. Once I was distraught once I found out Rumi was the killer. I was like horrified when I saw how fucked up Mima was when she had to do that terrible scene. Like, so many things from a cartoon, which is what this show is all about. Where we want to get in there, we want to teach the new and reminisce with the old, is what I always like to say.
Hell yeah. That is exactly why you're the fucking host of the fucking Flashback, baby. Not all of us can perform like this under pressure, dog. Like I'm working to it.
You are doing such a good job, bro. And I'm glad that now we know that this whole video chat thing works, and we can do movies like this. Back. You know, we can review stuff, or you can do solo reviews. I'll do solo reviews. We can laugh at Santi for having shitty internet and he can't do this stuff with us.
And being hairy.
And just being a hairy motherfucker. We love you, Santi. Thank you for joining us on this very spooky Halloween episode. We hope you enjoy. Comment, please hit subscribe, hit the like button. It's going to help us on all different podcast platforms with different algorithms and stuff. Joey raised their hand. I didn't even know you could do that. And guys, thank you so much for coming. And remember the 3 golden rules. Otherwise, Captain Planet will come and fucking shove a tree up your ass. Fight pollution. Save the planet. And as always, be good to yourselves. Thank you, and have a fucking good night.
Thank you, guys. Fuck yeah, dude.